I was kind of wanting to connect this up to an issue that's quite dear to my heart as a citizen of the European Union. So like the kind of other end of that territorial scale is the EU, right? So like, you mentioned again, like Plaid having quite a distinctive position on rejoining the EU. Like, and I guess maybe I could ask with Conservatives again, like how do you sort of foresee any change in this relationship, or do you think it's going well?
I think it's an evolving relationship, as we've seen and with Brexit, right? And I think our relations with all countries across the world has been evolving. We've signed those trade deals with a range of European countries. Our exports are at a record high at the moment. And we've seen the economies in Europe struggling far more than we've seen the UK economy struggling in the post-COVID recovery and prior to Brexit as well. You know, we're growing at the moment, as I say, since 2010, faster than the G7, above the G7 average since Brexit as well. And we've also seen, and the reason I say it's evolving is because the nature of that relationship can change. So one of the things I was pleased to see in more recent times was the UK signing back up to the Turing scheme for university students to be able to seek placements abroad in European universities. I thought that was really, really important. Now, for me, the advantage for Brexit is what we've seen to this point. It's us being able to shape our economy in the way that we want to shape that economy, making those trade deals, deciding on our own rules. We saw with things like the vaccine rollout, for example, here in the UK. We had vaccines far quicker than if we'd stayed. Where we can diverge, we've got that option too, but also where we can remain in beneficial schemes like that Turing scheme, I think is really, really important as well. So I think personally at the moment, the relationship gives us the best of both worlds, but the flexibility to negotiate if it changes.
Mm-hmm. And given that Plaid are talking about rejoining the European Union and have consistently had that position, I think, presumably you don't see it the same way?
Well, the thing is, we understand that in 2016, Wales, yes, voted to leave the European Union, but that doesn't mean that we are going to stop talking about the things that we believe in. You know, politics is about sticking to your principles and having that debate, even if you're the only person in the room who thinks it, right? We believe that Brexit has caused damage to the Welsh economy. We believe that it has created barriers, that it has created shortages in some of the key economic sectors and services. And that while we have that long-term ambition of Wales in the European Union, what we are saying now is that we want closer alignment with the single market and the customs union to bring down, and like Tom said, to have that best of both worlds, if you want, so that we can reduce barriers further and be in a position where we are working with our closest neighbours.
When it comes to Labour, it's been difficult to discern what Keir Starmer, who was formerly a spokesperson on Brexit, thinks we should do. And again, I'm not asking you to present a position where I'm not aware that there is one, but I am curious to hear your thoughts about this issue.
So I voted Remain, but my constituency overwhelmingly voted to leave. I think a lot of those people regret that now because they can see the damage that has been caused, but we did vote to leave and out we are. We can't go back into the European Union. We can't rejoin the single market. We can't have all the benefits that we had before because we're out and there's no way we're going to go back in. What we can and should be doing is working with our European counterparts to get the best possible deal, to get the best possible structures and procedures that will allow us to allow our young people to go and live abroad for a year or so on a gap year, which will allow us to do trade deals.